Good morning, everyone. My name is Dawn.Willey. I'm with Supra. I am the sales account manager for your organization, and I'm here to share with you a couple of tips and tricks regarding the new enhancements that your organization has decided to provide to you, as well as some things that you might not be currently aware of that might help you within your day. So let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about with you is the fact that we do know that you use your organization as the first tier of defense when it comes to questions and challenges regarding your eKEY. And we totally understand that. However, Supra does have customer service that is available to you every day except for 5 days a year. And that phone number is 877-699-6787. And then you would select the option that you were a member of an association, and that will route you directly to the right team that they can help you. And they're there from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. California times and the PST. And the only days that were closed are days like Christmas and New Year's and 4th of July. So there's someone there who can help you even over the weekends and address any challenges that you might actually have and be able to assist you. So we look forward to being able to provide you that service. And to give you an idea, it does prompt you to ask for a ID from you. And what that does is it creates a screen pop. And the person receiving the phone call from you doesn't need to go through a long dissertation to find out who you are. That screen pop comes up for them and they're able to verify a couple pieces of information very quickly. And we can see the last time you called in and the keys that you were assigned and the lock boxes you have. So it really speeds up the process. In fact, we answer calls typically in less than a minute. So it's very, very helpful. Additionally, I want to point out to you that today your eKEY might look a little different than it has in the past. You might have some of these icons on your eKEY, and as you move forward, and we are providing eKEY Pro with the enhancement that your organization has elected, you'll see some different icons that appear on your eKEY. One of those is roster. The other is my buyer, and the other is buyer feedback. So we're going to talk a little bit about those today so that you're prepared to utilize those for your resources. Additionally, I always like to point out eKEY Pro is, there was a differential in pricing. Many of you probably selected just eKEY Basic. And so your organization and association has provided you eKEY Pro. And so these new enhancements are available to you and you have the opportunity to use them. So eKEY Professional has additional information like listing data, an agent roster, and a quick search function directly from you being at the front door. And we're going to go into those in a little bit of detail. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the home tour. Home tour allows you to build value with your clients, and you invite your client directly to the home tour app. Now, I want to point out to you, your data is your data. So any clients that you invite and anyone that you're sharing information with, that data is your own. If you were ever to leave Supra, that data goes with you. We don't maintain a database of prospective buyers that we use to sell leads. We don't do any of that. Your data is provided to you only and to no one else. And so what this does is it allows you to build rapport with your clients. You invite them to the home tour application, and it allows you to stay lock and step with them and understand their preferences and needs when buying a home. What you would do is the invitation comes from you to your buyer. It allows you to send listings that meet your buyer's needs. It allows you to organize that information and collect data that your buyer is then relating to you on specific listings. And when they do a rating, it's fractional. So that fractional rating allows them to give an overall view of up to 5 stars, but it's any fractional rating between there. So 3.9 or 4.2 or 4.4. And then additionally, it gives you an opportunity to get great feedback regarding the property. So they can add anything that might not have been included in the public facing comments directly to the consumer. They don't get the information directly from the MLS. This is all public data. And then they can also take photos and add specific comments. So adding photos, so maybe it backs to a busy street and that might have been omitted from the actual listing data. They can take a picture of the street and put information in. Maybe it has a shared driveway that was omitted. Or maybe it has a kind of a time capsule feel, and there's some renovation that they would need to do and they want to make notation of that. So again, these are all great things that they can keep track of. And then when you're done, you can actually go sit with your client. Instead of having printed hot sheets, you can go through the app together, lock and step, and kind of discuss what made the listing valuable to them and or what made the listing challenging for them. Additionally, you have the ability to get mobile listing searches. It's not a replacement for mobile MLS apps, but it does help you if you're standing at the front door and there's a brand new listing 4 doors down and maybe you missed it or maybe you didn't send it to your client. You can quickly pull that up and say, oh, you know, I would have sent you this one, but it said that you had told me specifically you needed 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. This is only a 2 plus a den with no closet, so I didn't send it to you. So you have that capability as well to search those properties. The buyer view is, again, public facing data. So this is, there's no MLS comments, no agent comment to agent, none of that. The agent view is very specific to that public facing data. And again, this is the buyer view and the agent view that you will see as an agent so that you can get some details from that showing to be able to better meet the client's needs. The buyer gets the opportunity to rate the home, and then as the agent, you get to see that overall rating, and you can even write notes as well. You also have a full MLS roster search, which is available to you. This is not available to the agent, or sorry, the buyer. It's only available to the member, and this allows you to reach out to the prospective listing agent and ask them any questions regarding the property as you're walking through it. Maybe do they have do they have any offers pending, or that you're going to be writing them an offer and that you'd get it over to them today. So all of that information is available directly within the application for eKEY Pro as well. And then you also have data at the door. And this allows you to give instant expert opinion once you open the lockbox. So if you're someone who prints off hot sheets, there's no juggling of papers, you can see all of the MLS listing data and the property information directly from your eKEY application. You can get last minute instructions, and you also have the ability to maintain or change any last minute instructions on your listings. And then you can get the latest notes as a showing agent as you enter the property, such as it might be that the last showing, someone notified the listing agent that there was a sprinkler in the backyard that seemed to be broken. And so this particular listing agent has made a notation to you saying that someone's going to be out there repairing the broken sprinkler and to be aware of it. So all of that information is maintained directly in eKEY Pro as well. And then, as we talked about, user experience. Some of the things that we have, that information might have been bestowed upon you from early on, but you might have missed it. Meaning the information that you received, the most important thing when you received your eKEY was that you wanted to open doors. And that's what you remember, right? And now it's been many years and you've opened a lot of the lock boxes and doors. And all of a sudden, I'm going to share with you some information that someone might have shared with you early on, or you might have just omitted it and forgot about it. So we're going to go through a couple of things, and those are going to be agent alerts. We're going to talk about the start and end of showing, your biometric access, utilizing an Apple Watch, and then how to get additional resources if you need it. So the first thing I want to talk about is you have really convenient and reliable access utilizing your Supra eKEY. You have the ability to change keybox setting and track your keybox inventory in real time. And then once you walk away from that property, there is a pop-up that occurs within your eKEY that asks, are you done with your showing? If you select that you are done with that showing, it sends a notification to the listing agent letting them know that you've left the property. Sometimes you might receive a phone call from the listing agent asking if you've left the property. And that's because you might have turned off the alert section of your eKEY app to never or only while using, and you haven't opened it again, so that notification hasn't been sent. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, how to make sure that you're getting alerts and you're sending alerts. If you belong to maybe 2 areas where you have Supra eKeys, maybe you live in California, but you also have a place in Florida, or you're an appraiser, and you're an agent, you can actually name and nickname your keys in one app so that you can toggle between the 2 and you only have to utilize one login. So it's really helpful. It's called My Keys and allows you some versatility in being able to toggle between both of those products. Integrated agent alerts. So you can set up agent alerts that go out directly to someone should you feel unsafe. Now, this has to be done in the Supra web portion. And as we migrate to what we call Supra One, which is our new platform coming out at the end of the year, you'll have the ability to manage these directly from the app. But today, it's actually through Supra Web's login, and you would use your same login. And what you would do is you would be able to send 3 alerts to 3 separate people, letting them know that you feel unsafe. And what this does is you can use this directly from a watch, an iWatch, or you can do it directly from your eKEY app. So if you're at an open house, I would tell you if you have Forewarn is far more robust than this solution, but it is available directly in the eKEY app as well. And then showing notifications, as we started to talk about this, this allows you to send end of showing notifications so that the listing agent is aware that you've left the property. Many agents will let it time out based on the distance. It's 20 meters from leaving the house, and it will automatically send that. However, some of the challenges, there's twofold. One is we only allow notifications when utilizing an app. And so we're afraid that our battery is going to get run down by doing this. And I would tell you that this will not run down your battery. So you want to go to your phone and go to the settings and go into notifications and click on the Supra eKEY app and move that location services from only while using or never to always. And what this does is it allows you to send real-time notification to the listing agent, letting them know that you've left the property. And then also that will allow you to receive those notifications as a listing agent as well. So this will provide you an opportunity to get real-time notifications. Today, what might be happening is you leave a property that you showed on Saturday, Sunday was your day off, Monday was your office day, Tuesday you opened your eKEY application to update. And that's when you received a notification stating that the listing that you find the person that did the showing finally closed up the listing. And you're like, well, that was on Saturday. Today is Tuesday. They couldn't have been in the property for 4 days. They were not. But because you're only receiving notifications while using the app, you're only going to get those notifications when you open the application. So that's the reason why. Additionally, when you go to your eKEY, you're going to have the ability to do 1-day pin. So today, when you go to a showing and you have 5 properties you're going to show your client, as you walk up, every single time you're having to enter in your pin in order to gain access to the eKEY chamber. What you're going to do is you're going to toggle within the eKEY applications. You're going to go to eKEY, you're going to go to the More segment down here at the bottom, which is a reverse hamburger, right? It's not stacked in 3, it's sideways. And then you're going to go to Settings. And then when you click on Settings, you're going to toggle over Require PIN once a day. What is that going to do? It's going to allow you to save time. It's going to allow you the access immediately as you walk up to the eKEY, and it's going to allow you an opportunity to be more professional with your showings because you're getting into the property quicker. So this will allow you, if you see 20 properties today, only need to put in your PIN 1 time today and you're done. So I'm sure that that will help immensely. I get a lot of aha moments when shown that to people who have been in the industry for 20 years and never knew or toggled that over. Also, if you have biometrics on your phone, and you're someone who leaves their phone behind frequently or maybe misplaces their phone, you can also use the Require Biometrics, which will give you an extra level of security to ensure that someone who does obtain your phone can't get into your eKEY app and actually access properties as well. So Require Biometrics is just an extra step. And again, you can reach SuperWeb for resourcing, but you would need to go to the SuperWeb on your laptop or your PC in order to make sure that you update those agent alerts. We're going to talk a little bit about some Supra app features, one of which, if you are questioning whether or not what listing, what access you have within the area in which you farm or you service, if you go directly to your eKEY app, and at the very top in yellow where it says Glendale Association, if you click on that, it will give you a complete list of your primary and secondary associations. Your eKEY runs all the way through Southern California, all the way up into Northern California. Now, before you start driving to Northern California, to Silicon Valley to go show a listing, I do suggest that you take just a brief moment, make a quick phone call to Silvar and double check that there's nothing further that they need to do for you to enable your eKEY to be able to show property. Nothing is fun like sending yourself up 2, 3, 4-hour drive and then finding out that you needed to call them so they enabled your key, which is available to you, but they needed to assist you in just a single step. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. So please make sure that if it's any distance that you're just going to give a quick call, make sure that you have the ability to do that. Your Apple Watch 3 or greater, and I think they're up to 11 now. So if you have an Apple Watch and you download the Supra eKEY application, you can walk up directly to the lockbox and use your your Apple Watch to open up the key chamber of that lockbox. Really easy. It's also a great way to send those quick alerts that you might be in danger or in trouble directly from your watch without really someone noticing. So it's also a really great feature as well. And then you have the ability to assign lockboxes to a listing. Today, it's not mandatory, but let me tell you why this is valuable to you. One, it allows you an opportunity to get additional data. So when you get the data that someone has begun the showing or ended the showing, it'll be specific to a property. Additionally, it allows you to print out a receipt that says these are the agents who have shown that property so that you have the capability of providing that should someone not renew their listing with you. And then the tertiary component to this allows you to go ahead and locate your lockbox easily. Now, as we move forward and as we provide you new services, we will have the ability to have a Find My Lockbox feature or Find the Lockbox, which is going to be great as well. But this is going to be mandatory around the end of the year. So I want you to get used to assigning a lockbox so that you have that function in your mind so that you have the ability as you move forward, you're going to get more data as well. And then if you haven't been out to the Supra website, which is suprasystems.com, we've unlocked a huge resource for you that allows you an opportunity to get additional information. So we talked about customer service being available to you 360 days a year from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. However, if you need any quick resources like we have a resource within our website that allows you to type in, how do I release a shackle? How do I open the key chamber? How do I assign a lockbox? So all of that information is a resource directly in our website that you can get really quick FAQs on how to utilize services. And it's mobile friendly. So it's just tips, tricks, resources. It's available to you. And it's just a great resource. And then lastly, I just want to go over it again. You do have customer service available to you 360 days a year. And again, we are available to answer any questions. So while we appreciate that you have this great resource in the Glendale Association and their staff, if you need immediate assistance, you can reach out to us directly at 877-699-6787, and we will be happy to assist you. We also will assign a ticket number so that you can come back and trace that ticket to determine if there's been a correction made, or we can escalate that up, say, should there be an engineering challenge that we have a bug fix or we need to do something different. So I just want to let you know, great resource, and it is available to you as well. And last but not least, I wanted to thank you for your time today. I wanted to thank you for allowing me an opportunity to share some of the tips and tricks. This is going to be available to you in your repository for your library, and so you can go back to it, listen to it as many times as you need. If you need assistance with any of the resources or tips and tricks that I talked about today, you can also call customer care and they will walk you through the process of enabling the one-time PIN or going through and showing you and talking to you about eKEY Pro. So we're happy to do that as well. So that was all I had today. Very quick, down and dirty, give you some tips and tricks, and I appreciate your time. I hope you have a great afternoon, and thank you so very much. Bye-bye now.